Did Charlie Kirk know what happened to him, and did he experience any pain? We're not going to show parts of the video of what happened to him, and I don't recommend that you watch it because it's quite graphic.
Do not go looking for the video of Charlie Kirk. Please, for the love of God, do not go look for that video.
But I will be generally discussing what happened to better answer the question of whether Charlie knew what happened to him and if he experienced any pain. First, my thoughts and prayers are with Charlie's family and friends. It was September 10th in Orem, Utah. Charlie Kirk was doing one of his famous question and answer rallies at Utah Valley University's campus. The school seems to lean moderate conservative. Charlie had his famous tent set up like he's done countless times at other colleges.
How we doing, Washington State? How we doing, Michigan State? All right, you guys know how it works. If you want to ask a question, we have a line forming here. If you disagree, you can go to the front of the line.
And there were thousands of people eager to hear Charlie Kirk answer questions from the audience.
That's a lot of people, Utah, I'll tell you what. We're going to be here for a couple hours. Get comfortable.
I'm going to the Charlie Kirk event. The parking lot across the street is slammed. This place is going to be packed, and I knew it would be. I don't know if I'm going to ask a question or anything yet. I got a couple written down.
He's been doing this for years, going to different colleges across the country, filming it, putting it on social media, which if you have been at all on social media, I'm sure you have seen.
Who are you?
Well, important enough for you to come up to a microphone. You said, well, I'm worried about some laws Congress should pass. I've asked, what laws are you talking about? Can you be specific?
I'm sorry, I'm very nervous.
And this event at Utah Valley University was his first of the new school year, to verbally debate mostly young college students who strongly agree or disagree with him and everything in between. Charlie's Turning Point USA team even did this little TikTok skit before the event.
Okay guys, we're back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you.
They were so excited that they were starting off another season of Charlie Kirk talking to students at different colleges.
Thank you. Hi, guys.
His next stop was actually Colorado State University on September 18th, and I was expecting to go because I live just an hour and a half south of CSU. This is more than an assassination on a political figure. It's an assassination on free speech. No matter what you believe, whether you agree with him 100% of the time, disagree, or whatever, he was just peacefully talking.
This is the Old West, right? The Holy Spirit brought me here to challenge you to a gentleman's fist fight, right here in front of this whole crowd. Now look, listen.
No.
He just wanted to hear varying opinions, debate topics, and give his opinion.
Young men need a masculine figure around so that they can teach them how to use their violent impulses. A young woman needs a father around so she could see, hopefully, the type of man one day that she will want to marry. So you think that poverty equals crime?
I think that it's highly correlated, and there's a lot of studies on that.
This is where we disagree. We need more fathers, not less.
Yeah, a lot of people disagreed with him, especially on college campuses. But that's what was so interesting.
Close to being a fascist.
Let's go through this. How am I a fascist?
No.
Dude, like you...
Can you name one thing I believe that's fascist?
You believe that, like, you on... Oh, shit.
I'm such a bad fascist. I let the people who disagree in open mic to talk to me for 2 hours uninterrupted.
Okay.
I'm an awful fascist.
And he really embraced teaching the youth who disagreed with him that it's okay to disagree. Just calmly talk, and disagreement over politics should never turn violent.
And now I'm not...
What does your hat say?
ICE.
What does that stand for?
Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement. Hey, don't touch it. Have a nice day. Let's have a conversation. I wish we could be here without having my hat thrown off and stuff, but what we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have reasonable disagreement where violence is not an option.
Also, it was interesting that he was going on college campuses as a conservative. You know why? Yeah, because colleges have historically been known to be quite liberal.
Campuses are islands of totalitarianism. That's my point, is that campuses, because they're so homogeneously to the left.
And he garnered a lot of attention for doing that.
Come up to the mic and call me a racist to my face, or are you an intellectual coward and want to shout it from 30 feet away? I gotta say, your protesters are kind of weak here, guys.
And some colleges have been known to be socially, academically, and even physically dangerous to conservatives on campus.
It was the most awful thing I've ever seen in my life. And the worst part of it all was the liberals who were there were cheering.
I've spent a lot of time at many universities, and I've seen how dangerous it can be for conservatives on some college campuses.
When you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to want to commit violence against that group.
You think that's not emotional violence?
Isn't why we had the First Amendment to try to push our boundaries and to hear things that might make you mildly uncomfortable?
This doesn't make me mildly uncomfortable.
Does it make you very uncomfortable?
It makes me angry.
Like a lot of people, that's what initially drew my attention to Charlie Kirk. I remember thinking, oh no, an openly conservative on a college campus, he's going to get killed. And at the time when I was thinking that, I didn't mean that as hyperbole.
People like me are facing violence, assaults, the left. Yes, the campus Antifa. I've been stormed out of restaurants. I've been assaulted publicly, multiple death threats. When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. That's when civil war happens. Because you start to think the other side is so evil and they lose their humanity.
What do you think would happen to you if they found out you were a conservative at some colleges? Yes, on some college campuses, you would have no friends, your car would be keyed, tires slashed, dorm room trashed, get jumped walking home from the library late at night.
Jay got punched in the face by a professor here.
He saw my hat, he ripped the hat off my head, then he grabbed my head and also slammed it on the road pavement.
And some professors may even try to flunk you out of the school.
How many of you kids here on campus, raise your hand, do you feel as if you're graded down if you come out as a Trump supporter or conservative? That is the cultural left that will use power to punish a student with their grades because they have different views. That's fascism. That is definitional fascism.
Charlie Kirk actually helped to make college campuses safer for conservative students by showing up anyway, speaking openly, and proving that disagreement is healthy. He modeled how to debate firmly but peacefully, which gave young conservatives the courage to also speak their views without fear.
I thought it was like an improv comedy thing. It looked so ridiculous that I didn't even think it was real.
Well, no, you could see. Look how popular Trump is on your campus. How does that make you feel?
His presence on college campuses forced colleges to confront their own prejudices and remind students that free speech belongs to everyone, not just one political side.
So, I do have a friendship with him. I've gotten to know him over a couple years.
Disclosing bias. Disclosing bias.
100% biased. Whether you hate him or love him.
Why would you hate him or love him? He just has a job to do.
Well,
right?
I also love what he did as president for the country.
By normalizing conservative voices in traditionally liberal spaces, he helped create room for a more balanced dialogue and a safer environment for those who once felt silenced.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is more historically accurate than Protestantism. Prove me wrong.
Well, you're more aggressive than I would be. First of all, I love Mormons. I've said that forever.
That Jesus Christ was a real person. He lived a perfect life. He was crucified, died, and rose on the third day, and he is Lord and God over all.
Next question! On that day, when the second questioner was at the microphone and was asking Charlie Kirk questions.
Okay, now 5 is a lot, right? I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang.
That's when the single shot was fired. It sadly struck Charlie on the left side of his neck at apparently near his C4 or C5 vertebrae and apparently ruptured his left carotid artery and left jugular vein, causing sudden and massive blood loss. The entrance wound was approximately the size of a dime, but appeared much larger in footage of the event due to immediate surrounding bleeding. Although there was no clear footage of the exit wound, they tend to be much larger than the entrance wound in flesh. Do you know why? It's because the force of the bullet creates a temporary cavity, pushing mass along with it as the bullet exits the body. The bullet was fired from a high-powered
30-06 round. That is the 30-06. Takes down a deer very easily.
And given the trajectory of the bullet coming from his left, moving downwards to his right.
This is where he would have been on his podium, and when you spin it around, this is supposedly where the gunman was. You can see here that it was a perfect line of sight.
It's likely that it sadly caused severe spinal cord damage, possibly resulting in instant breathing paralysis due to injury at the C4-C5 level, where the nerves that control the diaphragm are located, often remembered in medicine with the saying, C345 keeps the diaphragm alive. When Charlie was struck, the transfer of energy through his body was apparent, with his body jolting and his white t-shirt flapping. Both of his arms bent at the elbows, moving instantly towards his chest at just past 90-degree angles, sadly followed by him instantly slumping over in his chair to his left, falling to the ground.
UVU in Orem has had an active shooter at the Charlie Kirk event. We're getting several calls. We're trying to get more information.
418 copy. How many injured do we have?
Just one person.
Running away from the UVU campus event with Charlie Kirk.
Many have speculated his arms moving upward towards his chest is due to a phenomenon known in forensic science as decorticate posturing. However, that's unlikely. Decorticate posturing occurs when higher brain areas like the cerebral hemispheres are badly damaged, cutting off voluntary motor control. With the cortex offline, the red nucleus in the midbrain takes over, flexing the arms while the brainstem reflex pathways extend the legs, producing the classic arms to core look. Since Charlie's cerebrum was apparently not directly harmed, decorticate posturing is unlikely. An immediate loss of blood to the brain does not typically result in immediate decorticate posturing. Instead, loss of blood to the brain would have led to rapid unconsciousness and flaccid collapse. Therefore, his arms instantly moving up like that after being hit was apparently due to an instant involuntary defensive reflex. If someone physically scares you, what do you do even without thinking? Right, hands up in front of your body to defend and protect your head, neck, and core. You may be wondering if severe damage to the spinal cord at C4-C5 caused Charlie to lose consciousness so quickly. No, it was the massive blood loss he incurred so quickly. The jugular vein carries deoxygenated blood down from the brain, while the carotid artery pumps oxygen-rich blood up to the brain. So what happens when both are catastrophically ruptured? Right, the jugular vein drains blood from the brain out of the body, while the carotid artery continuously pumps blood out of the body with each heartbeat. Also, since Charlie likely had an elevated heart rate from exciting the crowd just minutes earlier during his entrance, his rapid pulse would have accelerated the blood loss. When someone suffers a catastrophic wound to the neck that destroys a carotid artery and jugular vein, the mind only has a fleeting window to possibly register what happened. However, in Charlie's case, and after analyzing the footage with a digital timer, he was conscious for no more than 0.4 of a second after impact. Far too fast for his brain to even register what had happened to him. For the brain to register an event, even briefly, it needs at least 1 to 2 seconds of continuous function after the injury. That would be just enough for a flash of shock or awareness of what just happened to them. If someone goes unconscious in less than about 1 second, the brain cannot register the injury or even register that something is very wrong. Psychologically, the experience for Charlie is as if it never happened. No panic, no dread, no realization that he was about to die. Only an abrupt blackout. It was neurologically impossible for him to psychologically realize anything was wrong at all. But what about pain? It takes approximately just 100 milliseconds to register pain in the neck due to its close proximity to the brain and spinal cord. However, his blackout came so fast, his brain never had the opportunity to turn that raw signal into the perception of pain. What might have looked like movement, specifically with his arms moving upwards, was nothing more than an involuntary defensive reflex, not conscious awareness or the result of feeling any pain. He absolutely did not know he was shot, and psychologically was unable to even register that anything catastrophic ever happened. Although Charlie Kirk was taken from us far too soon at only 31 years old with a wife and 2 young children, his passing was essentially instant and without him experiencing any pain or suffering. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. Our thoughts and prayers are with his friends and family. I read a comment on a video that really said a lot. It said something along the lines of, "I'm sorry humanity let you down." No matter what you thought of his politics, he showed up to speak and listen to everyone.
LeBron or Jordan, greatest of all time?
Yeah, Jordan, not even close.
For real?
100%. I could prove it.
Break it down. Break it down.
How many finals has LeBron lost?
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
I was in the middle of saying, great, did you run a statistical analysis on that? Disagree with him on 1,000 different fronts. That's a human being. That's a father of 2 children. I think about how that boy is not going to have any memories of his dad.
Because the free market is so pervasive.
See, here's the thing. No one's preventing you from living like a socialist. You can go do that. Your worldview would prevent me from living like an entrepreneur or like a capitalist. So inherently, your ideology is built on control of other people's choices.
He of course knew that he was in initial physical danger as an open conservative on college campuses.
Yeah, why don't you read the shirt off for everybody?
Oh, my shirt, everybody, my shirt says Charlie Kirk.
Do you have short hair and up teeth? You must be a...
Let's elevate our discussion above personal insults.
But believed that if he showed kindness and openness, he trusted others would respond with the same humanity and not resort to violence.
Everybody, do me a favor. Please be respectful, okay?
I'm a queer person.
Can you tell me what that means? I mean that sincerely.
Have a nice day.
Let's have a conversation.
She was wrong for that.
When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. That's when civil war happens. Because you start to think the other side is so evil and they lose their humanity.
He believed humanity was better than this, and that's what makes this loss so heartbreaking.
How do you want to be remembered?
I mean, if I die?
Everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith in my life.
If you allow murderers to live, it's an insult to the victim. You are basically saying that murderer has more rights than the person that they murdered. That they get to keep on having life, even though that they took the life from a victim.
Now in the comments, what do you think about what happened at Utah Valley University that day? Let everyone know in the comments below. Subscribe for more. See you next time.